Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiv Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirihe Jashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 15. The Lord accepts prasadam at the house of Sarvam Bhattacharya. Text
108.
108.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Text 108. So Mahaprabhu is giving instructions to all the Vaishnavas who are leaving Jagannath Puri, going back to Navadvip. Diksha Puruscharya Vidhi Apeksha na kare Jiva Sparshe Achandal Sabare Udhare. One does not have to undergo initiation or execute the activities required before initiation. One simply has to vibrate the holy name with his lips. Thus, even a man in the lowest class, Chandal, can be delivered. Srila Jiva Goswami explains Diksha in his Bhakti Sandarbha. Divyam Jnanam Yato Dadyat Kuryat Papasya Sanshayam. Tasmat Diksheti Sa Prokta Deshikas Tattva Kovidah. Diksha is the process by which one can awaken his transcendental knowledge and vanquish all reactions caused by sinful activity. A person expert in the study of the revealed scriptures knows this process as Diksha. The regulative principles of Diksha are explained in Hari Bhakti Vilas and Bhakti Sandarbha. That even though born in a Brahmin family, one cannot engage in Vedic rituals without being initiated and having a sacred thread. Although born in a Brahmin family, one becomes a Brahmin only after initiation and the sacred thread ceremony. Unless one is initiated as a Brahmin, one cannot worship the holy name properly. So according to the Vaishnava regulative principles, one must be initiated as a Brahmin. Hari Bhakti Vilas quotes the following injunction from Vishnu Jamal. Adikshitasya vamuru kritam sarvam nirarthakam. Unless one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, all his devotional activities are useless. A person who's not properly initiated can descend again into the animal species. So Prabhupada here makes sure we understand his rights unless one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. So that's the most important requirement for initiation. Hari Bhakti Vilas further quotes, it's a duty of every human being to surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. Giving him everything, body, mind, and intelligence, one must take Vaishnava initiation from him. The Bhakti Sandarbha gives the following quotation from Tattva Sagar. By chemical manipulation, bell metal is turned into gold when touched by mercury. Similarly, when a person is properly initiated, he can acquire the qualities of a Brahman. So this Granth, Hari Bhakti Vilas, it's very, very important scripture. Bhaktivinoda Thakur compiled it. No, not sorry. Sanatana Goswami compiled it. And it gives the etiquettes, all the rules for a Vaishnava to follow, for a devotee to follow. Hari Bhakti Vilas, in discussing the Puruscharya process, quotes the following words from Agastya Samhita. In the morning, afternoon, and evening, one should worship the deity, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, offer oblations, perform a fire sacrifice, and feed the Brahmins. These 5 activities constitute Purashcharya. To attain full success when taking initiation from a spiritual master, one should first perform these Purashcharya processes. So what Pura means before and Charya means activities. Due to the necessity of these activities, we do not immediately initiate disciples in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. For 6 months, a candidate for initiation must first attend Arati and classes in the Shastras, practice the regulative principles, and associate with other devotees. When one is actually advanced in the Purashcharya Vidhi, he is recommended by the local temple president for initiation. It's not that anyone can be suddenly initiated without meeting the requirements. When one is further advanced by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds daily, following the regulative principles and attending classes, he receives a sacred thread, Brahminical initiation after the second 6 months. That was the standard when Prabhupada was here. Things have changed, that's all. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is further stated, without performing the Purashcharya activities, one cannot become perfect, even by chanting this mantra for hundreds of years. But one who has undergone the Purashcharya Vidhi process can attain success very easily. If one wishes to perfect his initiation, he must first undergo the Purashcharya activities. The Purashcharya process is a life force by which one is successful in chanting the mantra. Without the life force, one cannot do anything. Similarly, without the life force of Purashcharya Vidhi, no mantra can be described. So Purashcharya, as previously Prabhupada said, Pura means before and Charya means activities. Means before getting initiated, one has to do some things before he can be initiated. In his Bhakti Sandarbha, Sri Rajiv Goswami describes the importance of deity worship and initiation or Diksha as follows. It is Srimad Bhagavatam's opinion that the process of deity worship is not actually necessary, just as the specific prescriptions of the Pancharatra and other scriptures do not have to be followed. Bhagavatam enjoins that even without practicing deity worship, one can achieve the complete success of human life by any of the other devotion processes, such as simply offering oneself at the Lord's lotus feet for his protection. Nonetheless, Vaishnavas, following the path of Sri Narad and his successors, endeavor to establish a personal relationship with the Lord by receiving the grace of a bona fide spiritual master through initiation. And in this tradition, the devotees are obliged at the time of initiation to begin engaging in deity worship. So, again, deity worship at temple or at home. At home, one can have his deities and start worshipping, but in the temple, one has to be second initiated to do deity worship, to be able to go on the altar. Although deity worship is not essential, the material conditioning of most candidates for devotional service requires that they engage in this activity. When we consider their bodily and mental conditions, we find that the character of such candidates is impure and their minds are agitated. Therefore, to rectify this material conditioning, the great sage Narad and others have at different times recommended various kinds of regulations for deity worship. So Narad Muni himself gave Narad Pancharatra for guidebook for deity worship. Similarly, Ramcharan Chandrika states, O best of the Brahmins, even without initiation, preliminary purification, or acceptance of the renounced order, one can attain perfection in devotional service simply by chanting the Lord's holy names. So that tells us how important it is to chant the holy names, how powerful it is. In other words, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so powerful that it does not depend on official initiation. But if one is initiated and engages in Pancharatra Vidhi, deity worship, his Krishna consciousness will awaken very soon, and his identification with the material world will be vanquished. The more one is freed from material identification, the more one can realize that the spirit soul is qualitatively as good as the supreme soul. At such a time, when one is situated on the absolute platform, one can understand that the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. At that stage of realization, the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna mantra, cannot be identified with any material sound. If one accepts the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as a material vibration, he falls down. One should worship and chant the holy name of the Lord by accepting it as the Lord himself. One should therefore be initiated properly according to revealed scriptures under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. Although chanting the holy name is good for both the conditioned and liberated soul, it is especially beneficial to the conditioned soul because by chanting it, one is liberated. When a person who chants the holy name is liberated, he attains the ultimate perfection by returning home back to Godhead. So that is the perfection, means everything is in holy names. Whether one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master or not, chant, 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 chant. That is the most important. Even after initiation. Initiation means beginning. To initiate something. So even if somebody is initiated and is not chanting, what good is initiation? So chanting is the most important. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Important, very important. The offenseless chanting of the holy name does not depend on the initiation process. Although initiation may depend on Purashcharya or Purashcharan, the actual chanting of the holy name does not depend on the Purashcharya Vidhi or the regulative principles. Because Mahaprabhu himself said, there are no rules or regulations in chanting of the holy names. Only thing is, one should avoid the offenses. That's it. Niyamita smarane nafal. Any time, any place, in any condition, one can chant. And one should chant. If one chants the holy name even once while without committing an offense, he attains all success. During the chanting of the holy name, the tongue must work. Simply by chanting the holy name, one is immediately delivered. The tongue is Sevan Mukha Jiva. It is controlled by service. One whose tongue is engaged in tasting material things and also talking about them cannot use the tongue for absolute realization. So, tongue must be engaged. Means chant. Chant while clearly saying the holy names and hearing them. And of course, slowly, the emotions will also come in. Devotion will come in, love will come in. But even after that, speak clearly and listen to the chanting. With the material senses, one cannot understand the transcendental holy name of the Lord or his form, activities, and pastimes. But when one actually engages in devotional service, utilizing the tongue, the Lord is revealed. So as it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Atev Krishnera Nama Deha Vilasa Prakatendriya Grahina Hai Swarprakash. The holy name of Krishna, his body and his pastimes cannot be understood by the blunt material senses. They are manifested independently. or they are manifested once somebody is purified. And the purification comes by chanting. Anusanga phale kare sansare rakshaya chitta akarshiya karaye Krishna prem mudaya. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one dissolves in entanglement in material activities. After this, one becomes very much attracted to Krishna, and thus dormant love for Krishna is awakened. Akrishti krita chetasam su manasam upchatanam jamhasam. Well, the whole shloka is very long. The holy name of Lord Krishna is an attractive feature for many saintly liberal people. It is the annihilator of all sinful reaction and is so powerful that save for the dumb who cannot chant it, it is readily available to everyone, including the lowest type of men, the Chandal. The holy name of Krishna is a controller of the opulence of liberation, and it is identical with Krishna. When a person simply chants the holy name with his tongue, immediate effects are produced. Chanting the holy name does not depend on initiation, pious activities, or the Purashcharya regulative principles generally observed before initiation. Holy name does not wait for any of these activities. It is self-sufficient. See, ultimately it's taking shelter of the holy name of the Lord. अतएव यार मुखे एक कृष्ण नाम सहित वैष्णव करिहा ताहार सम्मान. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then finally advised, one who is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is understood to be a Vaishnava. Therefore, you should offer all respects to him. In his Updeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami writes, Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta. An advanced devotee should respect a person who has been initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and who is situated on the transcendental platform, chanting the holy name with faith and obeisances, and following the instructions of the spiritual master. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur comments that serving Vaishnavas is most important for householders. Whether a Vaishnava is properly initiated or not is not a subject for consideration. One may be initiated and yet contaminated by the Mayavad philosophy, but a person who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly will not be so contaminated. A properly initiated Vaishnava may be imperfect, but one who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly is all perfect. Although he may apparently be a neophyte, he still has to be considered a pure, unalloyed Vaishnava. It is a duty of the householder to offer respects to such an unalloyed Vaishnava. So unalloyed means pure, no contamination, no mixture of anything, pure Vaishnava. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. So as Rupa Goswami also says in Nectar of Instruction, that one who has taken initiation, he should be respected. But one who has taken initiation, he should be offered obeisances, pranam. But one who is chanting the names of Krishna, whether initiated or not, he should be respected. This was a question by those devotees from Kulingram. Khandera Mukundas Shri Raghunandan Shri Narhari Mukyati Najan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then turned his attention to three persons, Mukundas, Raghunandan, and Shri Narhari, inhabitants of the place called Shri Khanda. Mukundasera puche Shachira Nandan, Tumi Pita Putra Tomar Shri Raghunandan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Shachit, next asked Mukunda, you are the father and your son is Raghunandan. Is that so? So there is a reason behind him asking this. Iva Raghunandan Pita Tumi Taratanai Nishay Kariya Kaha Yoka Sanshai. Or is Srila Raghunandan your father and you are his son? Please let me know the facts so that my doubts will go away. Mukund kahe Raghunandan mor pita hai, Ami tar putra ei amara nisha. Mukund replied, Raghunandan is my father and I am his son. This is my decision. Ama sabara Krishna bhakti Raghunandan haite, Atev pita Raghunandan amara nishite. All of us have attained devotion to Krishna due to Raghunandan. Therefore, in my mind, he is my father. But actually, biologically, Mukunda was the father of Raghunath. But one incident changed this, changed his whole scenario. And Mukunda said, Raghunandan is my father because we have attained devotion because of Raghunandan. Shuni harsha kahe Prabhu, kahile nishai, yaha haite Krishna bhakti say Guru hai. Hearing Mukundas give his proper decision, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed it, saying, yes, it is correct. One who awakens devotion to Krishna is certainly the spiritual master. So one who awakens devotion to Krishna is certainly the spiritual master. So it could be son, could be grandson, anybody. That is Guru. Bhakter Mahima Prabhu kahite paye sukha. Bhakter Mahima kahite aaye panch-mukha. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy just to speak of the glories of his devotees. Indeed, when he spoke of their glories, it was as if he had 5 faces. So, the story behind this Mukunda and Raghunandan. So Mukunda was a great devotee of the Lord, and he was a minister, maybe minister, or he was a worker under king was Muslim king's court. So one day he had to leave the house and go to some other village with some work. So he had deities at home. I believe it was rather Gopinath, or just Gopinath. I'm forgetting the name. I think it was Gopinath, but I'm not sure. So he asked Raghunandan that Raghunandan was a little boy, 4 or 5 years old. And he asked Raghunandan that you make the offering to the deity, lunch prashad, and then when I come back, I'll have prashad. Rajbhog time you make the offering. Okay, so Raghunandan's mother made the plate for him to offer, and Raghunandan took the plate, put it before the deity. He didn't know the mantras, but he asked the deity to eat. And he said, I'll come back later and take the plate. So he went for playing. When he came back, after 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever, the plate was as it is, with all the bhoga in there. Now Raghunandan got scared. He said, if you don't eat and my father comes back and he had told me to feed you and you haven't eaten, so he'll chastise me. So he told the Lord, please eat. There was no movement. Raghunandan then picked up a stick. He said, you eat or I'll beat you up. Then Krishna appeared, seeing the devotion of Raghunandan and the innocence, and he ate everything. And Raghunandan was very happy. He took the empty plate, gave it to his mom, and went for playing. Mother asked him, what happened to the bhoga? Oh, Krishna ate. Okay, I don't know what to do. So Mukunda came back in the afternoon, and he asked his wife for food, and the wife said, there's nothing left. Raghunandan and Krishna ate everything. And Mukunda was surprised. Normally, this is not what happens, right? We offer bhoga and then we hope Krishna has put his merciful glance on it, and then we take it back and we eat it. We eat the prasadam. And Raghunandan was not a liar or some mischievous boy. So there was no reason to not believe him, but again, there was no reason to believe him either. So Mukunda asked Raghunandan that what happened? Raghunandan said, I asked Krishna to eat and he ate. So there is no food left. Okay. So Mukunda asked his wife to cook again. And next day. And he asked Raghunandan to repeat and do the offering, and I have to go to the other village. But Mukunda was hiding behind a curtain. And same thing, Raghunandan put the plate in front of Krishna. Krishna did not eat. And Raghunandan picked up the stick. I'm going to beat you up. What is this? Every day you're playing with me, not eating. And Krishna appeared and he ate. And then Mukunda came out from behind the curtain and he was crying. He was that, look at this devotion of this little boy, Raghunandan. He fell at the feet of Raghunandan. And it is said that Krishna was eating that laddu, last laddu, when Mukunda appeared from behind the curtain. And that half-eaten laddu is still in the hand of that deity in Shri Khanda. So maybe one of these days we get an opportunity to go there, take darshan. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Nice class,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, there is a news that Nritya Gopal Das Maharaj ji from Ayodhya, he was क्या कह सकते हैं, बहुत मुखर थे during the Ram Janmabhoomi, that Andolan was there, right? Revolution. So he is now going to start with Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi and Gyanvapi Masjid, Gyanvapi, that Parikar also, that the things which are going on right now. So his participation is something, it's very vocal and also काफी, लोग सुनते हैं, मतलब दूर तक, और उनके काफी कार्यकर्ता लोग भी बहुत सारे हैं. So now that's what he said कि अब तो श्री राम जन्मभूमि की बारी है, माने श्री कृष्ण जन्मभूमि की बारी है, और ज्ञानवापी वाला तो चल ही रहा है.
Yeah. Chalo, that's good.
Yep.
That's good. Chalo, thank you, Prabhuji. We all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.